What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. The button is right down there and it's free. That enables us to keep coming to y'all as often as possible with as many interviews as many of these 1st and 15th as possible. Now, today on the 1st and 15th, I have a very interesting way that I got to this, but here's how it happened and why it happened and what I'm trying to get and understand from this revelation, which is this. So my daughter is a big fan of Eric B. and Rakim. So I'm very proud of that and very excited that she enjoys listening to Eric B. and Rakim, wants to listen to Eric B. and Rakim, and gets excited to listen to Eric B. and Rakim. So at least in that regard, I've done a good job. So I'm very excited. So from Paid in Full, my daughter Lauren is a big fan of two songs in particular, I Ain't No Joke and I Know You Got Soul. Not coincidentally, two of my favorite songs. On Follow the Leader, she's most partial to Microphone Fiend. Again, another great selection. But with Microphone Fiend is part of why we're here today, because Microphone Fiend uses the Average White Band Schoolboy Crush song as its musical soundbed, the musical foundation, the music that propels Microphone Fiend and makes it what it is. Now, the Average White Band Schoolboy Crush came out in 1975. Great song. People should check it out if they're haven't familiar with it and haven't listened to it in a while. But this made me think to the most recent 1st and 15th I did on the Whole Darn Family's 7 Minutes of Funk, and how I was breaking down everybody, Drew Down, Jay-Z, The Licks, Dana Dane, and a bunch of other people. You can check the link there if you didn't see that one on 7 Minutes of Funk here on the 1st and 15th. But the reason why this is important and interesting, because unlike 7 Minutes of Funk, which was used by so many different artists in so many different ways with so many different lyrics from so many different years, I'm very interested about the Average White Band's Schoolboy Crush, because the three main examples that I always think of when I think of this sample being used, and the three songs that I think of, were by big artists at the time, released within a year or two of each other. Two of the three had videos, and one of them didn't, and it is a brilliant song. So I'm going to get to what I want to ask you guys at the end and get your opinion on it, as please always, as we do, hit us up in the comments section here on Unique Access Entertainment. But when I think about it, you know, not coincidentally, Think About It is the song that kind of gave me this idea, because it's special ed. It also uses Schoolboy Crush, like Microphone Fiend from Eric B. and Rakim. Think About It by Special Ed has a video. So both Microphone Fiend and Think About It are huge songs promoted by big labels. You know, Special Ed was on Profile Records at the time, which was home to Run-DMC, home to our good friend Dana Dane. Shout out to Dana Dane as always. So it had a track record with platinum, gold, and multi-platinum success. So Special Ed was about to be and was on his way to being the next in line of Profile, doing these big things. And of course, Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock with It Takes Two was also on Profile at the time. So when you think about this, Microphone Fiend comes out in 88, Think About It comes out in 89, and when you do think about it, no pun intended, Think About It also pays homage to Eric B. and Rakim on multiple levels, because it also samples the actual Think About It from I Know You Got Soul, one of my daughter's favorite songs from Paid in Full. So there's multiple levels of the Rakim homage, and Eric B. and Rakim paying homage to them, but that's not where it stops, and this adds into what I'm getting at. And the third example comes from the following year, which is 1990, when you have X-Clan's Grand Verbalizer, What Time Is It? So in consecutive years, you have these three prominent artists, three different record labels, although X-Clan was also on Island, which was 4th and Broadway Island for Paid in Full, for Eric B. and Rakim, even though they had moved on to MCA by the time Follow the Leader and Microphone Fiend came out. Originally, they were on 4th and Broadway Island, and X-Clan was on Island for To the East Blackwards. Shout out to Brother Jay and the rest of X-Clan. Paradise did a great interview with him. There's a link to one of the great interviews I did with Brother Jay. Please check it out if you haven't already. Now, the point being is this. Grand Verbalizer, What Time Is It like Microphone Fiend, like Think About It uses Schoolboy Crush prominently. That's the main driving force of the song musically in particular. But unlike Think About It and unlike Microphone Fiend, Grand Verbalizer, What Time Is It, to my knowledge, doesn't have a video, wasn't released as a big single. But I remember a lot of people talking about it because when I listened to it, and then some of my friends, there were definitely some disses thrown at Boogie Down Productions and KRS-One, who X-Clan had a rivalry slash beef with. And there were a lot of other super incredible lines from Brother J throughout Grand Verbalizer. What Time Is It? As was the norm for X-Clan and Brother J, uh, on to the East Blackwards in particular, but throughout the rest of Brother J's career, because Brother J to me is one of the best and most underrated rappers of all time. Like, he's phenomenal, and he's dropping a lot of very uh, incredible, dense yet enlightening lyrics. So that being said, Grand Verbalizer, What Time Is It, also has some of the sound effects that we hear later from DOS Effects and later from the Lynch Mob, just from Grand Verbalizer, What Time Is It? So maybe I'll do a video about that. But the bottom line is this Schoolboy Crush has been used so many different ways, and other parts of the song, you know, TLC used it for Ain't Too Proud to Beg in 92, which obviously had a video and helped TLC break through to the mainstream and got catapulted them into the illustrious careers they have. But then also other people used other portions of Schoolboy Crush. Nas on Halftime in particular, Large Professor used something at the end of Schoolboy Crush that ended up being used throughout Halftime. The sound effects and if you know what I mean, is on there as well. So it goes on and on and on, just like 7 Minutes of Funk. But here's my question, and what I really want to get from you in the comments. When a song used consecutively on singles and on big songs back to back to back, does that affect you? Do you care? Does it matter? Does it not matter? Because Schoolboy Crush has been used dozens of times by many rappers. I just picked three because they were close together. Two of the three had videos, and those three artists were three of the biggest artists from their particular region, but in rap in general at the time. You know, people from all over the country and all different sounds and styles were using it in different ways and to different effect. But I just remember thinking those three always resonated with me as the closest together and of the most similar vein as far as the artists and the lanes that they were in respectively, because of course Eric B. and Rakim and X-Clan, and to a lesser degree Special Ed, but all three of them were revered in different ways for their lyricism, for their stance, for their pro-black messaging and all this different stuff. So it was just very interesting that they all used the Average White Band sample at around, you know, relatively close to one another and put it on significant songs on their albums. So my question is, does that matter to you? Does it affect you? Does it, when you heard Think About It by Special Ed, did you not like it as much because of Microphone Fiend? Or when you heard Grand Verbalizer, What Time Is It? Was Microphone Fiend or Think About It too much in your head? Did it bother you? That's what I want to get your feedback in the comment section, because unlike 7 Minutes of Funk, you know, the use and the type of artists were so dramatic and so varied and spread out over years. This is a much more condensed usage and over used by artists much more similar than, say, Drew Down and Jay-Z, or Dana Dana and the Alcoholics, or as we got in 2023, Busta Rhymes using 7 Minutes of Funk. So that's what I'm really curious about, because to me it didn't matter as much, but I did think it was interesting and strange that X-Clan used it the same way so soon, knowing what a big song Microphone Fiend was, and to a lesser degree Think About It by Special Ed. Coming off the heels of those two, I was surprised they used it, but I loved it because Grand Verbalizer, What Time Is It? Is one of my favorite songs on To the East Blackwards, and it didn't really bother me. And I also liked the extra wrinkles that X-Clan brought to the music. Like I was saying, some of the other sound effects and the other wrinkles they added sonically, I thought differentiated it from Think About It and from Microphone Fiend, to where it had no effect on me whatsoever, other than I was like, oh man, this is the same sample that Eric B. and Rakim had used in Special Ed, and of course, dozens of others now over the years have used it. So that's what I want to know from you. When these type of samples are used so close together by such great artists, does it affect you? Does it bother you? Does it make you like one or the other more? Does it make you revere Eric B. and Rakim even more because they used it earlier than Special Ed and X-Clan and TLC and the myriad of other artists that have used it? Or do you just like it for its own merits and for what it is? Or did you not even notice or pay attention or care? It's interesting because my daughter Lauren, until I pointed it out, she didn't even notice or care or pay attention to the fact that Think About It has largely the same music as Microphone Fiend. So to each his own, and that's why I want to get your opinion. So please, please, please hit me up in the comment section, like, subscribe, share. Thank you to our members who have joined Unique Access Entertainment so they get the 1st and 15th, these videos in particular, early. And we started putting out more videos up early so the members get it before everybody else. So, thank you to our members of that. We're very excited to have you. And please join if you haven't already. We got the 3 different tiers. Subscribe and please tell a friend. We got more than 50,000 subscribers. We're trying to get to 75,000 super quick. So if you could tell a friend to get them to subscribe, get your mom, your dad, your uncle, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your niece, your nephew, your son, your daughter, whoever, so we can get these numbers up and get these views up and get to that next level in the game and ultimately the #1 spot in the game. I'm Soren Baker. Follow me anywhere you can on social media. And thank you for joining us here on Unique Access Entertainment, the 1st and 15th. I look forward to hearing from you and reading what you have to say about this very interesting topic. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll catch you next time on the 1st and 15th.